Can everybody hear me? Does everybody know what I'm saying? Just gonna finish my work here. While I wait for people to get on the line. Come one, come all, get on the line.
You're a line.
Your mom's a line.
Your mom's a line.
You leave my grandma out of this.
I said I don't know about your grandma.
Psh. I'ma slay you so slayingly hard. Yo, them's their fighting words.
You don't know how to say.
I know how to ride a sleigh.
Are you sure about that?
Uh-huh.
Didn't you break a foot the last time?
That was a sled, not a sleigh. So there, Miss Smarty Pants. Ooh, we got a person. Hello, person. Hello. Say hello, person. This person has not said hello yet. It makes me quite sad. Quite sad. What you up to, love?
Nothing.
Chilling, killing, feeling like a villain?
Always. I'm always feeling like a villain.
But are you chilling and killing?
No.
Along with the villain and the
No.
villain? Then
No. I don't kill.
you don't kill?
No.
Then how do you play paintball?
They respawn, so technically you're not killing them, you're just getting them out. Don't sigh like that at me.
Too late. I already did. Does anyone
No,
want to
baby.
do my work for me so I don't have to do it? Anyone? Anyone at all?
Nobody wants to do your stupid fact finders.
Neither do I. I don't want to do my stupid fact finders either.
Then deal with it.
Deal with it. So mean to me.
I'm not mean to you.
Not mean
You get paid a lot of money.
I wish I got paid a lot of money. I get paid a decent amount of money. I wish I got paid a lot of money though. That'd be nice. Hey, Loke.
Be a DM.
A Dookie Master? A Dungeon Master. Yeah, we're at 19.6% of our goal. Look at that. Look at that! This person has still not said hello. Whoever this person is, they do not actually like me. Or you, for that matter, because you're on here now too.
Oh, well, I'm okay with not being liked.
Are you?
I've dealt with it my entire life, so.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, baby? What?
Who would not like you? You're adorable.
those that don't like me. I could name a couple. But I feel like they would not want to be mentioned on the line. Yes. What, love? What can I do for you? What do you want?
Why can't you upload file? Tell me why.
It's too big.
It's not too big.
You're too big.
Thank you. That's kind of dirty. But thank you nonetheless. There, now it uploaded. It's the same damn thing. Hey, we've got a second person. Hello, second person. Will you be more friendly than the first person and say hello back?
No, apparently not.
They haven't seen. There's a delay. Calm down.
Maybe they don't want to be known. Maybe they want to be a quiet viewer.
Oh no. Don't worry. I got it. It's okay, everybody. I got it. I found it. It's recovered. Yes, this person also wants to be a quiet, unknown viewer. They do not wish us to know who they are either. Well, we have about 3 more minutes or so, and then we'll get started, regardless of how many people are on. This is the most boring part. Just waiting for people to like show up and say hello.
Well, where's our buddy Xavier?
I don't know, love. I don't know.
Text him.
I don't have his number.
You can message him on the book.
I can talk to him on the line. That's not texting though.
Messaging, texting.
Why don't you message him?
I don't have the line.
You don't have the line?
I don't have the line.
How do you work then?
I do have a chat though.
What you have to be on the line to use the chat.
No, good kitty cat.
Very cute. Whose kitty cat is that?
My friend Nikki's.
What you got there, love? You got yourself a giraffe. You lucky dog.
It's a corgi. Why was I not invited to pet the corgi?
I don't know where the corgi is, love. Hey, there's Clark, who's either a third person. There's a third person. It may be Clark. Clark may have been trying to talk to us earlier. I don't know, but he says there we go. Hello, Clark. Nice to see you again. We haven't seen you in a little while. It's been a bit of time. Will you be joining us on Sunday? A fourth person! Ah, the numbers are getting up there now. I'm glad we waited just a little bit. Hello, fourth person. Say hello. Not you. Them. I mean, you can say hello too.
I thought you meant you wanted me to say hello to the fourth person.
I know what you know. I know what you think I meant. I know what you think I meant. Would anyone like to do my work for me?
No one wants to do your work for you.
Why not? I don't want to do it. It's a pain in the butt.
Mm.
It's just a pain.
I'm sorry to let you go, Layla. But guess what? Without that pain, you wouldn't be able to play paintball, so.
True that. True freaking that. You ain't wrong.
That's what adulting is.
I'm now here. What did I miss? You missed nothing, actually, because we haven't started yet because we were waiting for people, but it's now the 10-minute mark, so it's time to get started. Time to get
Ooh,
started.
look, we got 5 people already on the
We got
10-minute
5
mark.
people.
I think that's a record.
I think that is for quickest. It's not the most we've ever had, but it is the quickest that we've gotten to that amount. So we are going to talk today about becoming more involved in paintball, in the world of paintball. So as of this summer, as I'm sure most of you know, I started reffing. First at Three Rivers Paintball, and now at P3. And actually, it goes back a little farther. Last year, we did Zombies of the Corn.
Yeah, we did.
Not a great experience. Not terrible. Like, I'm not angry that I did it by any means. But it wasn't super great. Definitely not super great. Wouldn't do. I don't think I'd do it again unless they paid more.
You almost died.
I didn't almost. How did I almost die?
You were itchy.
I was itchy. I wouldn't call that almost dying.
I like to exaggerate.
Obviously.
You were very unhappy and angry, and you would come
I-
home every night
I was quite angry.
very itchy.
I was quite itchy. This is absolutely without doubt. That, however, does not, in my mind, constitute
Also,
almost dying.
it was the end of October, and it was bloody hot.
Okay. They can't control that, though.
I'm not blaming them.
Well, anyway, Loki, you gotta stop, babe.
But he's having fun with his giraffe.
So we did that, and it wasn't great, but I decided I should ref just because mostly, honestly, just as an extra stream of income because paintball is expensive, as I'm sure many of you know, if not all of you know.
You expensive.
Paintball's quite expensive, so I wanted an extra income to supply my paintball habit, subsidize my income, and supply my paintball habit. But I didn't do it that much. I did it one day, and then it was like another
month and a half.
yeah, it was a while. It was another month and a half to 2 months before I did it again. And I did it several more times then quickly following that. And then after that, we had Reaper Siege, and we started negotiating the sponsorship with them, which
With
that's
P3, not Reaper Siege.
with P3, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Which that alone is getting more involved. But then he asked if any of us wanted to ref, and we said, well, sure, why not? I'll ref there too. But I kind of figured out that I can't really ref at both. Definitely not at the same time. That's obvious.
Could be like Padre Pio.
I don't know what that means. I legitimately have
You don't
no
know
idea
who Padre Pio is?
what you're talking about.
Then never mind.
So I choose one or the other, and I kind of want to kind of what made the decision for me, I guess, was two things. One would be amount of working, and P3 I can work pretty much whenever I want. Three Rivers was more like as they need me, which apparently wasn't that often. And then also, I want to maybe keep my gameplay and my work kind of still separate, and so still play at Three Rivers, and then ref at P3 kind of keeps them separate to a certain degree. So that that's cool. That's a good way of doing it. So.
Also, where do you have fun with it being the weekend and working extra on the weekend after you work all week? Where do you find it more fun to work? Is it more fun being a ref at P3, or is it more fun being a ref at Three Rivers?
It's more fun at P3. I would say it's more fun at P3. More fun at P3, for various reasons that I don't want to get into too much, because I don't want to put Three Rivers down. I like Three Rivers. I don't want to put them down too much. But I would say I do have more fun reffing at P3.
I didn't mention it to bring anyone down. I just figured it is extra income. You work all week. you went to Cleveland today, so that was an entire day. Half of it was in the car. So I feel that if you're gonna get a second job, might as well have fun doing that on the
Though
weekend.
that's absolutely true.
Or might it be something that you actually enjoy doing?
I remember I was talking to someone the other day, and they mentioned something about you got to find a job that you love, and I was like, well, I have. The problem is it's only 2 days a week. It's not my main job, because I actually do enjoy reffing. I've found at this point, got much more involved, and I actually enjoy what I'm doing now. And now at this point, we are very, very far into planning summer camp, which we talked to you about before, and a scenario, which again, I'm still not going to tell you what it is, but we do have the whole thing written.
We have about 90% of it written.
I think it's higher. I think it's like 95%, but we got a lot of it written. It's not quite done. It's still the first draft, so we still have to go through it, figure everything out, make sure everything actually is going to work, have other people look at it and tell us what they think is wrong with it, so on and so forth. But we're pretty far into it, and that's awesome because I'm very excited about it. I think that there's a lot of funness that's going to come out of it. Yes, I said funness.
Also, it has the chance you're talking about Atlas, or APU, and the Atlas paintball universe. It has its potentials to be its own universe.
That's true.
If we decide for it to be, or if it is successful in the way we hope that it will be.
And that a big part of that is going to obviously depend on what Xavier decides to do. If he decides to continue that or not is definitely a big thing. And then from there, if he decides that he does indeed want our help with it or not, that.
I meant ours.
Ours what?
I meant the scenario that we're writing has the potential to become its own universe, just like Atlas Rising.
Oh, that's what you meant. It's
I
not a
meant.
universe. It wouldn't be a universe like that is. It would be just a.
Okay, and
We'd have
a
one
sequence.
a year. Yeah, it would be. You could have sequels to it. So it wouldn't be like you could have. I mean, technically you could.
You could technically make it.
You
a
absolutely
universe.
could do that, but we're not. I don't think we'd do that.
I'm not saying that we would. I'm saying that it has potential to be that way if we would want it to be that way.
See, I think that I think Slaughterhouse Paintball is a very good size for a paintball universe because it's big enough that they can do things, but it's also small enough that they can have like miniature ones. They don't have a whole crap ton of walk-ons all the time. They have no idea what's going on. Usually, if you're going there, from what I gather, they know the field, they know the owners, and so they can be part of the universe. They can actually be part of it and care as opposed to just being walk-ons that you happen, you're the only ones here. There's not even a member of the actual universe. You guys are here, so you guys are doing it. That would be weird.
I mean, I think we were the only ones there that had never played there before.
I think that's accurate. Yes, I do believe that.
And I'm
is
not
accurate.
trying to take anything away from Slaughterhouse at all, or try to compete with their universe. I was just kind of mentioning that from what we discussed today, that it has potential to be more than just one scenario. They can branch off.
Yes, it can,
That's all
but
I'm
my guess would be that it's not going to do that. It's going to much more be just a sequel. If it goes well, we'll have sequels to it. So
That's what I really meant.
there'd be the first one. There'd be the second one, the third one, once a year probably. Not,
Not having mini ones.
yeah, not little ones here that that connect to it indirectly, things like that. I don't think we're gonna have any of that. But so yeah, we're becoming much more involved. At this point, we have real stakes in P3, and how it is going to do and how it's going to continue, because we're doing things for them. And they're doing things for us in not only the sponsorship, but the class that we're doing, or the summer camp, and the scenario that we're writing. Now, the scenario, like we're saying, can have sequels, and those sequels don't have to be at P3. We could pretty much do them wherever we wanted. But provided everything goes well at P3, that's probably where they're going to be, you know? Because why wouldn't they? You know, that makes sense that you keep it at the same place.
But it also, when you're writing one, you would need to know the field before you start.
You should know the field. That way you can write the game according to the field. Because certainly a lot of things that we've done for this one would have been written differently, if not completely differently, on a different field than they were. We tailored the game to the field we know it's going to be on. It would be different if it was on Three Rivers, for instance.
But it could, even if it was on Three Rivers, it would play out a little bit. I wouldn't say it would change that much.
It'd be definitely very, very similar, same basis, same idea, but it would be different.
Yeah.
It would. There's definitely. It would definitely be different.
Yes.
I'm neglecting all of our people here. So Clark said he might be going this weekend. He'll be back. Gav says, "What's up, paintballers?"
Gav.
He is
Alex's friend, right?
Well, they know
all
each other
through YouTube.
They know each other through YouTube, the same as I know both of them through YouTube. Eric's fixing his pump still. Did we get in contact with Slaughterhouse? I don't know. Did you get in contact with Slaughterhouse, Eric?
Just message Xavier. You're so needy.
Minion, you keep asking me to do these things, and I don't know why you just don't do them. You're like, message this person, ask them to do that. Why don't you just message them? In this case, have we got in contact with Slaughterhouse people? Why don't you just message Xavier and say, hey, I've got an idea for you? I don't. Why do I have to do that? He knows. He may not know you personally, but he knows who you are in general.
All you have to do is say, hey, I'm on Dunedain with Dayon.
He says, I don't have info. What info do you need? You go on, you go to either Xavier's page or you go to Slaughterhouse Paintball page and you click the message button. Message, it's a button. Click it. Press the little button and then you type in the message. You click enter and it sends magically on the line.
You know the scenario you wrote, or the ideas for the concepts that could be part of a scenario. We don't know any of that. You're better explaining it.
Yeah, so yeah. No, not on Instagram, on Facebook. Why is everyone angry today? Well,
we grumps. You and me are grumps.
I had a long day. I had to drive past Akron, Ohio today, and then up to Cleveland, and then home. So, with that in mind, I spent about 5 to 6 hours in the car today, driving.
Well, we got a lot accomplished with you doing that.
We did. We wrote a lot of stuff down.
I'm such a good procrastinator at my job.
But, just being in the car that long is just tiring. So, that's probably why. We're down to 3. We up at 6, and now we're down to 3.
We got a little testy.
Is that what happened? We got testy?
I don't know.
I got testy with Minion. That's it.
Minion. Go onto the Book of the Face. Search Slaughterhouse Paintball. Then message. And just say that you're a Minion from Dunedain with Dayon. Last Wednesday, we were discussing things. Can we, exchange numbers? tell you my ideas. Done.
Done. I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to do something, and that something is going to be done for you.
You're going to share the page. Invite friends.
I'm going to try. Invite friends. Okay. Send invite. Alrighty, Minion, I have on Facebook invited you to like Slaughterhouse Paintball's page. So, just accept that, and then you'll have the page. Also, while you're on there, go ahead and vote to continue the story. I know you weren't there, but do it anyway, because I told you to.
He already's got plans to continue the story.
No,
so
he doesn't. He has plans for a separate scenario that he wrote just for a small field. And I said we could integrate it into the story, but it's actually, he didn't write it for the story.
I thought he switched it up again.
No,
so
I switched it for him.
You're so bossy.
So bossy?
Yeah.
Bossy?
I said that real cutesy because I didn't want to be mean about it.
No, you said it real Bostonian.
No, that was not Bostonian. I like how you speak for me.
I do speak for you. I do speak for you. So, you do have the names situated for the teams? Okay, hit me. Hit me with your best shot. Look, he has himself a giraffe.
He's very excited. He wants to know the names too.
He does. See, the problem with the names is that they're going to have to be changed to Atlas and Rebels.
Oh my.
I'm thirsty.
Okay.
Will you give me a drink?
Sure.
There should be one sitting over on the by the couch.
Mine.
Well, what are the names, eh?
You need to wash this rug.
Well, then we should wash it. Look at that donka-donk as she walks away. Thanks, love.
I have mine too.
I can have both yours and mine? Oh my.
Take it.
Good guys, Rainbow Six. Bad guys, the White Masks.
Do you want anything else?
Not currently. Okay. Well, that's okay. Have you written any more of it? Because we've written a whole butt ton. For our scenario, it is approximately 5.5 hours long total. There's 7 missions, and then like continuous missions throughout the day that aren't. So there's 7 different missions, as in they have a single objective, but then there's objectives that run throughout the day, so you can do it at any time. Hey, Loke. Hi, Lokadoodle. Did you take Mommy's seat? Where's Mommy supposed to sit? Where's Mommy supposed to sit?
He's cuter. More people would rather look at her little floppity doppity fish.
Yeah, he does have a floppy doppy face. You do have a floppy doppy face, baby. What are you doing?
He wants center seat.
Hello, pup.
No, he wants your ketchup.
He probably wants my ketchup and fries. You trying to get to my ketchup and my fries. You just finished the intro video lines for Rainbow Six and a mission. The intro video? Like, you're gonna make a movie for it? Is that what you're saying? You're gonna make a video for it? Oh, goodness. Loki, stop trying to eat my food. gotta. Hey, you gotta help. You gotta get rid of this dog. Goodness gracious. Oh, Loki.
Hunkadoo.
You just need to see the field so you can write the rest. A mission briefing, yeah. Okay, a briefing. So not a video, a briefing. Because there's difference between a video and a briefing. You know. Big difference between a video and a briefing. A video can be a briefing, but it's also a video. Are you going to make that video? Go to their next event. So I think they have one coming up here in October. Let's see. October 28th, I think. Events. Yeah, Halloween horror paintball event. October 28th. And then they also have one in November, the 24th of November. So on the 28th, Halloween horror paintball event, Sunday, October 28th, 12 to 5. And it's just open play. So you could certainly go down for that. And then they have remember paintball in November.
Oh, that rhymes.
On November 24th, 12 to 5. Mixed bag of game modes. New and experienced players are welcome. So now the one downfall that they have is because there's such a smaller field. They can't be open all the time. He's only open certain days. So if you buy a case of paint, so when we went down, we bought a case of paint and we didn't use. I think we used half of it, maybe a little bit more than half.
It's a little bit more than that. But we also didn't play as much as we thought we were gonna play.
That's true, but still, the point is that we have a bunch of paint left over, and it's not like we can just go and waste it, or not waste it, but we can't just go and use it because they're not always open. So there, he can't help that. He's a small field. He's
also
only
works.
Yeah, he also works and everything and plays, and so he can only be open when he's open.
Although
Nothing against that. It just sucks because we have this paint now, and so either I have to go in October and use it, or I have to use it somewhere else because it'll go bad, and then I won't be able to use it at all.
So with it being a slaughterhouse, I wonder.
No, the Nazi Zombies is on the 10th, not the 25th. You're cray cray. He's cray cray.
Yes.
What were you saying?
With it being a slaughterhouse, and is that open? Like, could you just go and visit the slaughterhouse? Like, I guess you could just go visit the field.
Yeah, I suppose you probably could. Loki, you can't have popcorn. It would hurt you, babe. It's not good for you. Popcorn's bad for puppies. It is not the 25th. It is the 10th.
It's the 10th of November.
You are a nutballs.
It's November 10th.
Right here. Right there. So what I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna do something. Let's make this happen. Studio mode.
Loki.
Add.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Browser.
Facebook.
That's not what I want. Delete that. Add. It is browser that I want.
It is browser, yeah. And you put the URL of the Facebook
Window
page.
capture, that's what it is. Window. Firefox. Okay.
It's very small though.
Well, no, you're bigger, don't worry. Calm your tits. And transition. So, what do you see here? What's the date that's listed right there, Minion? What date do you see?
He's in my bag. He's
Let's
got it.
let's zoom in a bit here. Can we zoom in? Can we zoom in on this? I don't think we can.
He's got it though.
So this number right here, November 10. Interesting that I was right and you were right and the young one was wrong.
Am I ever wrong about dates though?
Are you ever wrong about dates?
Dates.
Yeah, because once you told me that you like dates, and dates are not very good.
I never
They're like
said that I
nasty
liked
plums.
dates.
They're like disgusting plums.
Why do you gotta hate on the date community?
Because dates are gross. Dates are gross. Yes, indeed, it is your bad. You're bad indeed. So who else do we have on here besides just you, Eric? Because there says there's 3 people on here, but you're the only one talking to me. Who else is here? Anyone? Anyone at all? Papa dog. Papa dog.
Where's Alex?
I don't know where Alex is. He's studying for school, doing school stuff. He's got
Or
school.
Lucas.
He's got school habits.
I know his name is not Lucas, but
His
I like,
name is not
I
Lucas.
like calling him Lucas.
His name is Luke.
I know what his name is. I like calling him Lucas.
You're a strange bird.
What does that say about you? You married me.
It says that I like strange birds.
Okay.
I guess. I guess that's what it says.
I'm a cute bird.
A cute bird.
Yeah.
So let me tell you a little bit about what our class is going to be like, I think. Just a little bit. Not too involved. Just a little bit. We can make it if we try. Puppy. Puppy. Back out my Grizowski. Back out my Grizowski. You can't have popcorn. It's bad for you. So we're going to have a couple of different groups of ages. 7 to 12, 13 to 17, and then 18 and up. You can't have popcorn. It's bad for you. Get down.
Well, it depends on.
It does depend on how many people sign up. But generally, we'd like to split them up in those age groups. Because I generally wouldn't want or not even that I don't want. A 7-year-old is going to be different to teach than an 18-year-old, which is going to be different to teach than a 15-year-old.
Really? You nervous?
Is it that hard to know? Is it hard to figure out that that's different?
No.
Okay then. Then we're going to divide those age groups into groups or teams. 5 is preferable, but again, that depends on how many people sign up. So the teams will play together in day-end events. So every day is going to end with a special thing. They're going to run drills together, and they're going to be responsible for each other. So we do have consequences if you break rules, particularly taking your mask off. And one of that is that if you get 3 strikes in a day, if you take your mask off 3 times in one day, you will not be able to do the day-end event.
That's preference. If you take your mask off without being told to do so.
Yes, let's preface that. Indeed, that's true. If you're not told. If you take your mask off when you're not supposed to, you get a strike. If you get 3 strikes in one day, you will not be allowed to play the day-end event, which really messes up your group of 5 or however many. So those other 4 in your group are supposed to be responsible for you and say, hey, make sure you keep your mask on. I giving lessons. Who is in charge of the groups of different ages, that is? So yes, I'm going to be giving lessons. I will not be the only one doing that. But essentially, A-Dog and I are in charge of it. We're going to be running it. In charge of the groups, again, we're in charge of it, so we're in charge of the groups. And the ages, A-Dog and I decided, but mostly A-Dog, but I completely agreed with her when she said it. So, why do you have qualms with the ages we've chosen? What are you talking
No, I'm fixing my battery.
about? Fixing your battery? What's wrong with your battery?
It's low.
It's a low. It's a low what?
It's at like 21% because I talked to you all day.
You did talk to me all day. You could have plugged it in.
That takes
Could have used your Bluetooth that I slaved over for you. You don't even use it.
I still would have taken battery, wouldn't it?
Not nearly as much.
Okay.
No, I mean, who's going to teach the younger and who will teach the older? We haven't gotten that far. I don't know the answer to that.
We also don't know if there's going to be older.
Yeah, we don't even know if they're going to split into groups. We won't know that until much closer to the time. So we're expecting, or this will definitely happen after Pittsburgh Public Schools let out, which is towards the end of June. So the classes will likely be either the last week of June or the first week of July. That's, again, not 100%. That is expected. We will nail that down hopefully in the coming month or two.
Everything.
And then registration will start, and we will have a set number, like I'm assuming we're gonna have a max number for the class.
That's
and once
John and Jen.
Yeah, John and Jen will probably figure that part out. Once we reach that maximum number, then we can better decide who will be in charge of what age groups, and also how many people we're gonna need. Because if there's 10 people in the class, the two of us can do it. If there's 35, 40 people in the class, we can't do it. We need at least 2 or 3 other people. Well, Eric, that had already been thought about. I actually thought that you might want to attend the class, honestly. And yes, you're at a higher level than this class will be for the most part. But it's always good to get a different perspective. And it would, you and I have talked about, actually like just 2 of us going and working, and we've never actually had the chance to do that. So this would give you a chance to do it.
It also depends. I mean, obviously, if there's only 10 people, then that shouldn't be a big deal. But if we're doing stations in a round robin where you spend this much time at one station and then you just keep going around, we would need more. But that depends on how many people there are.
Indeed. It all very much depends on how many people actually sign up for it. We're hoping it goes well.
We should know.
But,
everything should be out by January. That's the ideal plan.
The ideal is that everything, all the details, all the advertisements and things will start getting people signed up in January. That's the hope. And then also the hope is that everything will be everyone will be registered and everything by, I'm thinking, March, late March. Everyone will be registered for it.
I'm sure we'll get Scrabble as well.
Yeah, I mean, we could always add a few more people here and there, but MagFed is not currently on our agenda. We're not teaching specifics of that nature. So we're not splitting, like we're not going and saying this is how you play speedball, this is how you play woods ball, this is how you play MagFed, this is how you play pump. That's not something we're doing. We're teaching aspects that can be used really on all of them.
Also, because of the equipment, we're gonna try to have different levels where you can bring your own equipment, right?
Yeah. So for pay levels, when you register, there's a couple of different options. You can.
Or you can rent.
You can, like, the base level, the cheapest level is bring your own equipment kind of thing. So you're just taking the class, you have your own equipment. I guess the next level would be you have to rent equipment, and they all have, or the rental that they use there is the GOG Enemy. Then the next level up is you are given used equipment through Paint the World. Hopefully, we haven't talked to them yet.
But there's also stuff that was not given to
And
people.
P3 has some used stuff too. and then the top level would be you get brand new equipment and the class. So that all goes into it. But as far as like learning MagFed versus anything else, that's not on the agenda. Um, just because we're trying to, it's only a week long. First of all, there's not so much you can learn, and breaking into specifics like that is, I don't think, gonna work for a week-long class when you're trying to introduce them just to the game in general. And will we mention the fact that there is such a thing as MagFed? Yeah, but am I gonna spend a half a day or any time at all really saying this is a MagFed gun, this is how it works, this is the differences between MagFed and regular? No, I'm not gonna do that. Just like I'm not gonna do that with any of the other big ones. Just because it takes away time.
Teaching maintenance.
We are going to be teaching some maintenance, just general maintenance of the GOG enemy, because that's what everyone will have. And every day, the kids are going to be responsible for doing their gun. But again, that is not specific. GOG enemy is super easy to take care of, super easy to clean, and it'll give them. It's more along the lines of not teaching them specifically how to clean the enemy or take care of the enemy. It's getting them to realize that they need to take care of their equipment. If they're going to play paintball, you need to take care of your paintball gun. So it's more about just getting them to care for their equipment than it is about specifically how to care for that particular gun.
Also, with the type of class, with it being, even though we are only for adults, it's purely intro. I may have held a paintball gun in my life.
I think the most in-depth thing we have. Let's see.
It's day 5.
Yeah, day 5 is the hardest. Day 4 is the hardest stuff. I would say snap shooting is the
sliding.
Snap shooting and sliding would be the most upperclassmen stuff. Like, that's going to be the hardest. That's what most people will have the most trouble with, and that's the thing that they're least likely to just like pick up on their own. And that's day 4 out of 5. The 5th day is a special thing. You're not actually learning anything. We're hoping to have just a scenario for the kids, basically. So I would say if this class leans towards one style of play, it's actually scenario play more than anything else. Which you can certainly have a MagFed scenario, but and so all these lessons could go towards that.
But to keep everybody consistent, using the same equipment, such as the enemy, because that's what they offer at P3, it would be very difficult to like have everybody be a different type of gun, like have a different type of gun.
That is true as well.
To teach them basics, because if you MagFed.
Yeah, we have to walk around to every single person and show them how to take care of their gun, which I may not know how to do depending on the gun.
But not even know how to take care of it, just with MagFed, you play differently than mechanical and speedball, electronic gun. Like, it's all just different. You gotta take that all out of it when you're teaching 7-year-olds how to play.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Especially with the younger kids, they're not going to be able to handle MagFed. Not that MagFed's super difficult, but it's a 7-year-old who's never played paintball before. He's not going to pick up on MagFed right away.
You're throwing too many options for specifically for the 7 through 12-year-olds who probably have never played before. You're giving them too many options to try to understand.
Right.
It has to be like, this is the gun we're using. Why are we using it? Because it's the gun that we have, and you can't give them any choices. This is how it is.
It's also a very good, reliable starter gun. I like it. I use it. It's a good choice for them anyway. Honestly, when people ask me what's a good starter gun, Tippmann Cronus is a big one. GOG Enemy is a good one, and now the EMEC is a good one. Like, and then pretty much any Tippmann gun, but Cronus is particularly. But so, as another hint, you know, day one, we'll go over a few things. Split the teams up. Now, we'll already have chosen who will be on what, just kind of at random. But obviously, they don't know that, so
But you
we'll
don't
give
give
out.
7-year-olds those choices either. You don't tell them who you're going to be partnered with.
So we'll split them up. We'll assign them to their teams. Explain what we're trying to accomplish with them. Explain about safety and their strike counts and how they're responsible for their team or their group. Then we have an opening game. Every day starts with an opening game. I think the opening game is on a different field each day. Yeah, the opening game is on a different field each day so they can experience the different fields. The game end event is always on the same field. And then training moves around as well, but probably most of the time it's going to be on the compound. Just because it's big, it's open, you can see things, you can use it easily for demonstration and to watch and learn. So that's probably a good one to
It's probably
teach
going
them
to be Vietnam and compound.
for teaching and speedball.
Because Ultimate Woods Ball and the jungle are very enclosed. You don't have a lot of, as a ref, you don't have a lot of good angles of seeing the entire field like you do.
Well, it's not even the entire field. It's that you have to have enough room for everyone else to see what's happening. You know, if you have one person practicing or demonstrating, everyone needs to be able to see them. You know, and so when you're back there in the jungle or something, there's not enough room for everyone to form a circle and watch. There's just not enough room for
Also,
it.
the jungle doesn't have, it has like one bunker. It's not even a good bunker.
It has a bunker?
It has a pallet sticking up.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
There's only one of them.
So we have the opening game and basic gun maintenance. So every morning, you're gonna have a couple of groups. Half is gonna go play the game, and the other half is gonna take care of their gun, and then they'll switch. Makes it easy for us to get everybody out there and not too many people on the field at one time.
All the structure, though, is definitely going to have to do
with how many people.
And how many people and the age groups. Because if we have, you know, say we have 25 people and 3 of them are 14, but the rest of them are under 12, then that's going to have to be something we discuss as well. So we can plan accordingly, and we have a lot of good ideas, and we have our layout, but when it comes to...
So those of you in school should all be talking to your friends about, oh, you want to learn how to play paintball, or you've only played once and you want to get into it. Tell them that we're going to be running a class, and they should attend the class. Get the word out there. And as soon as the advertisements start coming out, you guys will know and share it. You know, let people know. Like Eric, you sent me that video today, or not the video, the picture today of it was an Instagram post that he had met a family over the weekend. Let's see if I can find it here. So it's a picture of him and a family. The 3 kids were playing. I don't know, was the dad playing, Eric? But definitely the 3 kids were playing. And it says, had an amazing time watching my boys play paintball. That's why I think he wasn't playing. I also had the pleasure of meeting this amazing young man. He welcomed my boys with open arms and helped them fall in love with playing paintball. This young man has character and a very personal presence. The world is oyster for people like him. So first of all, that's awesome that that happened for you. Nice to get that recognition, and thank you for engaging new players like that. That's what we want. We want new players, so that's great. But now, if that ever happens again, if you happen to see these kids again, or anyone else for that matter, tell them, yeah, and if you really liked it, you want to try to get into it, my team is going to be, doing classes. You should attend, or your kids should attend, so they can really learn how to play and get more into it. Especially like with that, I showed your kids some good stuff and they did well and they had fun. If they want to learn more and get more in depth in it and really have us show them how to play rather than just as I can, come join this class. So keep that in mind.
You should really call it a camp though, because it's not just one class.
Sorry, camp. Excuse me.
Well, that may confuse people. Oh, I'm going to a class. Oh, I'm going to a summer camp that's a week long.
So we've got things like keeping your gun up while you're moving, communication with your team, how to use a bunker properly, what to do if you're out of paint or air, how to long ball, how to predict your shots, not getting distracted. Just so a lot of good stuff that you learn as you play. No, it's not Camp Dunedain. You learn this stuff as you play anyway, but if you just learn it right off the bat, you're going to be so much better than the other people that are of your same technically skill level or experience level. That's what I'm looking for. So if you've actually played paintball once, and they've actually played paintball once, but you attended this class, you'll be miles ahead of them. But if you go and play against someone who's played for maybe even just one season, and you've taken this class, you guys might be even. You might still be slightly ahead of them. You might be a little behind them, but you're going to be about even. In certain aspects, I think you'll be ahead.
No.
And in other ones, you might be a little behind.
Loki, let go.
What are you going on about? What's he got?
He has tissues. Let go.
My dog, for some reason, very much enjoys chewing paper of any kind. It can be a tissue, it can be toilet paper, it can be paper towels. It doesn't matter. If it's paper, he likes chewing it for some reason. I don't know why. You're a strange pup. He's got more.
Yeah, I know. Loki!
What an very odd dog. So no, it won't be camp. It won't be Camp Dunedain. It will be just learning how to paintball camp, summer camp at P3. Now the scenario that we're planning, hopefully, will be, Dunedain presents this particular scenario. That's what we're thinking. Now we do still need to talk to John, the owner, and work all that out specifically, but that's what we're currently thinking. So John, if you're watching this, that's what we're thinking. Well, that's what we're kind of counting on, Eric, is that the whole team, especially those of you in school, will really help advertise all this. Because it's geared towards kids in school, It's really geared towards that probably 12 to 18 area, 12 to 20 maybe, is really kind of what we expect most kids to be for this class. So, high school area. Loki, drop the socks. Drop them. Hey, thanks. Socks. So that's what that's our involvement. That's how we're getting more involved, and that's changing a lot for us as far as, in my opinion, it's changed a lot for us in our paintball lives because we don't play nearly as much anymore because we're roughing all the time. Yeah, we don't play nearly as much as we used to.
I'm making money.
We're reffing and making money, and in fact it was awesome. So over the weekend on Sunday, right? On Sunday, the last hour and a half, I was still getting paid for reffing, but I was actually playing. We were on the speedball court playing with some kids. So I was literally getting paid to play paintball, which was fantastic. It was awesome. And it was obviously just plain fun. But I really enjoyed getting paid to play. Well, your youngest cousin should sign up for it when it's time then. But yeah, so we're playing less. So we really have to kind of pick and choose what we want to go to now, because most of the time we're reffing. So, and as makes sense, John wants to know if we're going to be reffing, hopefully by Tuesday for the weekend. So, and if we can tell him earlier than that, that's even better. Which obviously makes sense because he needs to have refs there, So I don't hold it against him at all, but it just really makes it hard for us to decide, hey, let's go play paintball tomorrow. We have to know ahead of time. And I don't think we haven't played just regular walk-on play since.
It's been a very long time.
It was.
It's been since.
What? It was like a week. It was no, because it was a week after I got my EMAC. Because I played once with my EMAC. So it was after Reaper Siege.
Then I was not there.
Yeah, you were.
Then it's been since.
It was
August?
I think it was the week after Reaper Siege, maybe 2 weeks after Reaper Siege. So it's
that
been a
was
month.
August.
So it's been a month since we've gone, and before that it was a while. This weekend I am going to play open play at Bad Company, hopefully on Sunday, provided weather and stuff holds out. Last weekend we didn't play at all. The weekend before that we didn't play at all.
Because we worked.
The weekend before that we did go to Slaughterhouse and worked the other day, right? We worked the other day, right?
I think we worked Sunday, yeah.
We're saving up for a couch or something of that nature. Which, so.
It's very hard to decide spending $60 on a case of paint or making $60 in tips.
Yeah. Her cuteness gets a lot of tips. Yeah. I think one of the reasons I do enjoy reffing at P3 more than Three Rivers is that we engage with the players. At Three Rivers, as a ref, well, most of them anyway, just kind of stand there. They count down, 3, 2, 1, go. And then they watch their clock. Okay, time up. And that's all they do, really. Every once in a while they call somebody out. But at P3, we engage with the players. I walked around and teased them. And they actually, it seems like the players really enjoy that. And we, tell them to move up. Hey, move right. We give them tips. We give them pointers. There's more games than just go eliminate the enemy. There's other style, like mini scenario type games and stuff.
I was just about to mention that only playing at Three Rivers. I think we played at P3 once, and I just remember playing on Vietnam.
Vietnam.
But when you go to Three Rivers, you gotta go get the flag, or it's elimination, and it's 1 minute remaining, and you barely see. I mean, we know Tyler, so we talk to him, and we poke fun at him.
He slightly talks back.
But if you think about Tyler, really anybody on that field, when you come off the field, I've never actually, besides Coco, had a conversation with a ref. Coco would, help you out on the field, give you some pointers. Tyler was like, please don't talk to me. Just listen to me, don't talk to me, no, I don't want to hear it. Where at P3, you bash them and you poke fun and you have a good time with your players, and there's more than just you go get the flag or single elimination. It's capturing a flag, capturing 2 flags, finding a skull, throwing a football into a trash can. You have all of these kind of dimensions.
Which it's really hard for me to say because I still very much enjoy Three Rivers Fields. I still like them better. There's no doubt in my mind. Yes. I like Three Rivers Fields better. So it really pains me that I like the game style of P3 better, but I like the fields of Three Rivers better. Wouldn't it be nice if like they joined forces? they become one.
Well, also, P3 doesn't take shit from anybody.
Yeah,
They
there's
will
that.
kick you off that field if they're doing something wrong.
Hi, pup.
You're gonna know about it. You're gonna be reprimanded for not being safe, specifically when it has to do with your mask. And you don't see that at Three Rivers. Um, and Three Rivers has the 15-foot rule. And hi, baby. Hi. Yes, I like kisses from you too. Um, but they don't really ever enforce it. Like, I've seen more issues at Three Rivers with 15-foot rules than reffing at P3.
Yeah, that's true. I have mixed feelings about that. So when I give my safety speech at P3, it's very similar to the one I give at Three Rivers, but it obviously ends up being a little different because Loki. Um, they at Three Rivers there's a 15-foot rule. At P3 there's not. I have mixed feelings about that because for new players I like 15-foot rule because I feel it protects them from each other. It protects them from experienced players. It protects experienced players from them. The problem is, and this is a big problem, it's really, really, really hard to enforce. So if anyone ever breaks it, it causes fights. And the thing is, people break it all the time, whether they mean to or not, because it's really hard to truly avoid it. You know, when you're playing on for example, at Three Rivers, the castle. For anyone, if anyone's watching this that doesn't know, it's a standard. There's castle type thing. There's 4 entrances, 4 towers. It's not that big. You know, it can only be so big. If you come around a corner and there's somebody there, a gut reaction, especially for a new player, is to shoot them. Okay, well, you're closer than 15 feet on that. There's no question. But it happens all the time. So now you get someone who says, you shot me closer than 15 feet, starts screaming at them, potentially shoots them back several times. I've seen that. And it leads to more problems. So, but on the other hand, not having it opens people up to just shooting each other crazily from real close. You know, they'll come up right behind you and shoot you right in the back, you know, from 6 inches away because they can. You know, why not? You told me I'm allowed to. So that's why I generally tell people just be nice to each other. You know, if you're going to shoot someone from close, shoot them once. You know, you don't need to shoot them 10 times. And it doesn't lead to fights.
So, I've only reffed parties. And usually I say, don't be a jerk. If you get behind somebody, you deserve to get them out, surrender. And I've never really had any issues. They usually surrender, no problem. And then I applaud them for playing so well with each other. But I had a group of hockey kids, and they got within, it was probably 15 feet, 10 feet of each other. And maybe 1 or 2 shots went off. And I realized that I had not said, be nice to each other, surrender if you get behind or get really close. And their coach was playing with them at the time, and they were like, can we institute a 10-foot rule? I was like, we can do whatever you want. This is your party. I'm just here to make sure everyone's safe. And from then on out, there was a 10-foot rule. No one else had any issues. There was no problems. So in that case, with parties, you all know each other. So if you're going to be a jerk, and I've never had any jerks, I've never seen any huge issues with the parties I've had. I guess you can be a jerk because you're shooting your friend, but I've seen some very nice surrenders with children, like 17-year-olds. I did a party for a 17-year-old girl, and I mentioned it, and her sister decided at the very last moment she was going to play, and this girl was shaking in her boots. I've never seen someone shake so much. She was so nervous, and then she went on the field, and after like game 2 she was just like, okay, I'm out, and like she was like pushing forward. It was really fun to see. But one kid came up like on top of a mound and behind her and surrendered her, and she just walked away, and I'm sure she didn't want to get shot, but the fact that I didn't have to scream at anybody about it, that no one got hurt because they were actually listening to me, astounded me a little bit. So I think if you, specifically for parties, I mention it or they ask for the option. I don't know how you feel about open play though, because that's usually what you do.
Yeah, open play is definitely harder.
Especially when it gets up to like 40 people. Like open play is huge.
Yeah. Usually I'll tell people the same thing always. You know, there's no 10-foot rule, there's no 15-foot rule, just be nice to each other. So you can see A-Dog's beautiful face. Alright, hold on.
Who wants to see my pretty face?
Eric wants to see your beautiful face. There you go.
Just so pretty.
I don't know what I was saying. You made me lose my concentration
You're saying just tell people to be nice to each other?
Yeah, just be nice to each other. Because even though in theory, I like the 15-foot rule, it leads... I've seen more fights, I think, because of it than any other reason. Honestly. Which is sad to say, but I'm pretty sure that's true. I've seen more fights because of the 15-foot rule than for any other reason.
Okay, that's probably why John doesn't institute it. Because if you say there's a 15-foot rule, I'd rather get shot at 5 feet away knowing that there isn't a roll than getting shot at 5 foot away when that guy knew there was a roll.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to be shot from 5 feet away, but I'd rather take the shot knowing that there's no roll than knowing there is a roll and you're just not listening to it. And then no one is enforcing it either.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it is really hard to enforce. When you're playing on field 2 and you got those 2 buildings, and someone's in the building and then you run through, you don't even know they were there.
Yeah.
People just naturally shoot each other. Well, those buildings are only 10 foot by 10 foot. Like, you're within 15 feet. So, I have seriously mixed feelings about it. So I think, overall, I like not having the rule more than having the rule, but it's a close call. And it really comes down to how people play the game. So you really just have to stress with them. I give 5 main rules. Rule number 4 is don't be a jerk. That's rule number 4 that I give.
At Three Rivers, the largest I've ever really seen it get is 10 on 10, maybe 12 on 12. But at P3, the other day we were there, and no, you weren't there because you were in Dallas. There had to be almost 50 people in open play. And open play is, I've never played before, to I'm a speedballer who comes here every day. Or every weekend. So you have those mixed bags, and when there are 25 people on your team, and you're playing against 25, I don't even know how you would institute a 15-foot rule. I don't even know how you could pay attention when you're trying to pay attention to everything else with masks and making sure people get out and letting them out. How you even care that some guy's 10 feet from you and shooting at you.
Yeah.
Like if you were shooting into the spawn, okay. And some of those fields you can't jungle.
Hi, Pop.
I struggle with jungle
Hi, Pop.
because if you stand in the middle where you see everything, then you're in the middle of all of the fire trying to find the skull, because usually we do scavenger hunt on jungle. So it's very difficult to like find a place in jungle where you're not just in the middle of everything, but you're also paying attention to what's going on.
Now, there's also the this is very contentious. The surrender rule in general. Not necessarily distance, 15, 10 feet, whatever, but the surrender is contentious. For some reason, it seems like the majority of experienced players, and it could be closer to half and half, but it seems like the majority, would rather just shoot you. No matter how close or how many times or whatever else, they'd rather just shoot you. Puppy, what are you trying to do here?
He wants to get on your lap.
Why do you want on my lap?
Because he wants to kiss your face.
No matter who you are, whether you've never played before, or you're the most experienced player ever. So Wolf posted a video maybe a month ago. It was a short, like 1 minute video. Some guy crawls up in front of him within, I would say, maybe 3-4 feet away, and Wolf says surrender. The guy turns to look at him, sees that he's there. Wolf says surrender again. The guy backs up about a foot and then comes forward with his gun again, and they shoot each other. Now, in my opinion, that guy was out. There's no question in my mind that guy was out. Wolf had him dead to rights, and he didn't shoot him because he was being nice. He didn't want to shoot him for 3 feet away. That hurts. You get over it, but let's not kid ourselves. It hurts, right? So he was doing him a nicety by not shooting him that close, but he had him dead to rights. There's no question he was out. But technically, according to the rules, and apparently according to a lot of people, that guy was not out, and he had every right to do what he did. Which he did have the right to, but I guess it's more not he had the right to, but he was completely justified, and they completely agreed with him, and they would have done the same thing. And I'm over here thinking,
games?
I think it was a super game. And I'm over here thinking, that guy is unsportsman. He should have called himself out. Because the only reason he wasn't out was because Wolf was being nice. It wasn't, oh, I might have hit you, but there's no way to know for sure. Or it's almost definite. I mean, it's pretty sure I would have hit you, but we're not 100%. There's no question. Like, they were so close, his barrel could have touched this guy's face. But he didn't shoot him because he was being nice. That guy is out. You're out.
You should have just touched him with his barrel.
It's unsportsman to not call yourself out. I don't understand why so many people will say, I agree, he should have, he shot back, they got each other out. There was a time where we were playing at Slippery Rock Paintball, and I came up behind somebody, and I was still maybe 15 feet away. That's true. But I was legit behind this guy. I was on his 6, as you would say. Maybe his 630. Behind him. Clear line of fire, nothing between me and him, and I called surrender.
What exactly is a 630? Because what's the difference between
if this is 6
and 6?
If this is 6, 630 be there.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that expression before.
Anyway, and the guy turns around and shoots at me. And the same thing. And we end up shooting each other out. And he says to me, I don't accept surrenders. And I'm thinking, what do you mean you don't accept surrenders? Would you prefer me to shoot you? And he said, yeah. I was like, well, excuse me for being nice to you. I could have one-whaled him. I could have shot him in the back of the head. I literally could have shot him in the back of the head or anywhere else on his body because he was laying down. He was laying down facing the opposite direction. There's no question that this guy was out. But he turned around and shot at me, and we shot each other because I was being nice to the guy. And once again, you're out, bud. Stop being unsportsman. I know you don't want to get out, and that's understandable. No one wants to get out. But let's be fair. You were out. People have come up behind me and they ask me for a surrender. Even if I'm not quite sure if they would have gotten it, I give it to them. Because congratulations, you got around behind me. I didn't even know you were there. You got me. I'm not going to turn around and shoot you. That's unsportsman.
I will gladly take that surrender. Because I don't want to be shot at 5 feet away. I think I've only shot someone very close once. And I felt really bad after the fact. But he kind of came up on me and scared me. And it was when I was in the tank during Dub 1 holding my puzzle. And he came around, and because the tank doors were open, and I saw him, and I was just like, I just popped it once. And he was real pissed off at me, and I was like, you are not getting my puzzle. But, like, he scared me as well, so it was kind of a knee-jerk reaction. But I've only been able to surrender one person. I was very excited about this. We were on field 2 at Three Rivers, and I knew exactly where he was, and he wasn't paying attention to me, because I think I was on a team with, like, 3 12-year-old boys, and I got around him, and I had run out of paint, and I screamed surrender like 8 times, and he popped me 3 times on this side. Luckily, like 2 of them were in the mask, and I just stood there still screaming surrender. I will gladly take myself out. I had no paint anyway, but get off the field, please. Like, that was my first surrender. I was so excited that I was able to get up on him, and I was in front. Like, he wasn't even paying attention to me. I came up on his left side. He wasn't even looking at me, and I screamed surrender 3 times. And the fact that the only reason he turned around to be able to shoot me was because I yelled surrender at him. Because he wasn't looking at me at all until I said something. Hi, Papa-Roo.
So, yeah, I don't care how much you feel about it. You're never going to convince me that if someone's behind you, and the only reason you realize they're there is because they're telling you to surrender, and you turn to shoot them, you'll never convince me that that's sportsman. That is unsportsmanlike conduct. If there was a surrender suggestion in a professional sport, and someone did that, they would have a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. There's no way you can convince me it wouldn't be there. Because it's unsportsman. You're out. You're out. Take the hit.
Also, if you are, let's not say experienced, but if you experienced enough, and some kid who's never played before gets behind you, and you pop him one, because you don't accept surrenders. First of all, that kid maybe has played maybe 5 times. Give him the benefit, give him an applause. He got behind you. Damn, congratulations. Like you were saying. Like, the fact that experienced players are jerks during new players, you're losing people then. Because if somebody, like if I got behind somebody or if I yelled surrender and I've only been playing like once or twice, and then some jackass with an electronic gun pops me, and I don't get popped once, I get popped 5 times, I'm done playing. Forget you. And that's not what it should be. I don't understand why, you have to prove yourself about surrenders. They got you out. Surrender, barreled. Like, would you rather be hit with a sword or a foam weapon or the edge of my barrel? How would I throw my gun at you? Like, is that what they want? Would that get them out?
I don't know. I think they want to have the paint on them. If they don't have paint on them, they don't count as an out, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
See, now that brings up another question. So, at P3, and I assume other places as well, they have the paint grenades that actually explode, right? They pop. And the rule is if it's within 5 feet of you...
It's 10 feet.
It was 5 feet for Reapers, but it might be 10 feet overall.
It's 10 feet overall.
Let's just say 5 feet for now. If it's within 5 feet of you, you're out. But the chances of actually getting paint on you from those things are super low. Or how about even a tank buster? You get an anti-tank, they shoot it at a building, they hit the building. Technically, everyone that's in that building is out. There's no paint on you. No one shot you. But according to the rules, they got you out. Just like with a surrender rule, they got you out. Do you deny it and say, no, I'm not out, and turn around and shoot people? Is that what you do? Because by the same token, if you're not going to take the surrender, even though you should, because you didn't shoot me, bro, then they didn't shoot you in that case. There's no paint on me. I'm not out, right? You can never convince me that any different. It's unsportsman, and you're shying away new players by doing such things. So basically, I guess what I'm trying to get across is if you're an experienced player, accept surrenders, and also surrender new players. Don't just come up and shoot them. And if they get behind you, take the surrender. Please be sportsman about it. Especially, think of this now. If no other reason, you have some kid that comes up, they get behind you somehow, and they surrender you, and you accept that. And you congratulate. You give them a high five. You give them a fist bump. Say, wow, kid, that was great. You got behind me. I've been playing for 5 years. You managed to surrender me. That kid is going to be a paintballer for the rest of his life. And you just got an avid paintballer. Or you turn around, you shoot him, and you say, I don't have to surrender. That kid's going home crying, and he's never going to play again. Which do you think is better?
And he's telling his mama that that's what happened, and then mama's coming down to whatever paintball park and saying, this is what happened on the field.
Yeah. So
because mamas don't play.
Mamas don't play.
When their baby is crying, mamas don't play.
Unless they're playing house, in which case they are playing. But, okay, so everybody, it's been almost an hour and a half. I got nothing else to spiel about. I have a couple ideas for next week. I think next week I'm gonna tell a fun little story about some adults getting mad at me for punishing their children. That'll be fun.
Thanks for that, because I didn't get a tip because of them.
I punished children, and the parents got
The
adults got mad.
The adults got mad.
So we'll talk about that. Yes, I spanked some children. So we'll talk about that next week.
Not be saying that on live. Whatever.
I spanked them with words. And the adults got mad at me. So and she didn't get a tip for it. So we'll talk about that next week.
The one adult got mad at you. One adult. I don't think the other ones got mad.
Well, in any case,
it's a good story though.
We'll talk about that and some other things. So I will see you guys next week. Minion, get in contact with Xavier. I sent you the thing. And let me know what Clark says for the Siege tournament. So I will see you guys next week.